Hey guys, it's Emma Vigling with TYT Politics. I was already live today, but I wanted to bring you some breaking news because the Democrats are actually fighting. That's the breaking news. Be still, my heart. The Democrats are fighting a Republican nomination? Dear Lord, didn't think this was going to happen, but they seem to have singled out Betsy DeVos as the candidate that they're going to fight against. Tom Price's confirmation is going to be later in the week for Health and Human Services, which will present a fight, I believe, as well. But what the Democrats are currently doing is fairly unprecedented. So, if you don't know, Harry Reid, in a showing of extreme weakness, got rid of the filibuster provision that would have prevented the DeVos nomination going forward. If the Democrats have had that tool, they would have been able to kind of slow this process and potentially filibuster. But the Democrats, and led by Harry Reid in their infinite weakness, have made that impossible for themselves, and of course allowed themselves to trip over their own foot. So they can't filibuster this nomination. They can, by the way, for Supreme Court nominees, but not for positions like this. So what they're doing instead is holding a 24-hour protest for the Betsy DeVos nomination. Betsy DeVos, obviously, being nominated for education, or Secretary of Education, and she has been the most controversial pick by Donald Trump, basically because she doesn't know anything about the very basic elements of being education secretary. She didn't know the difference between proficiency and growth, which is a hugely important topic within the education community, and she just is a billionaire donor that has donated over $200 million to Republicans, so this selection is basically paying her back for her years and years of money that she has been donating to the Republican Party. So again, the tactic from Democrats can't stop a vote from happening, just so everybody knows. And cabinet members are no longer subjected to the 60-vote threshold to end debate. That was what we can thank Harry Reid for his amazing weakness. But anyway, instead they're hoping that the overnight rally of sorts will give members of the public more time to call in and pressure their representatives to rethink their position. And Patty Murray of Washington said, "I know for a fact that there are other Republicans who are feeling the heat and could come around." She's the top Democrat on the Senate Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee, and she said that on the floor. I was able to witness some of Elizabeth Warren's testimony where she brought up Betsy DeVos's blatant conflicts of interest. So if Betsy DeVos is confirmed, she could be implementing policy that would directly put money into her own pockets. Similar thing with Tom Price, who has been implicated in a number of corruption stories by the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times, showing how when he was a representative from Georgia, he lined his own pockets with the policies that he was implementing in terms of big pharma and health and human services policies. So there's similar concerns with Betsy DeVos. Both of these fights are going to be difficult. Betsy DeVos is by far the toughest fight that the Trump administration is going to have to face in this confirmation process. There seems to be kind of a universal distaste for her. For obvious reasons, she's immensely unprepared, and two Republicans have come over to that side, if you guys haven't heard that already. Susan Collins of Maine and Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, two female senators who were pushed over to the other side and saying, you know what, I can't vote for this woman. So again, this is signaling a kind of divergence from the Trump administration. I quote Patty Murray there, who says that people are feeling the heat. These Republican senators are feeling their heat. Their constituents are calling in. But you know what they're probably also afraid of? Feeling the heat from Donald Trump. You think that if one Republican moves over and breaks this tie, that Donald Trump isn't going to retaliate against them? If you think that, you don't know anything about this guy's psyche and you don't know anything about the way this guy plays politics. I would be worried if I were a Republican opposing this nomination. Collins and Murkowski, it's one thing because it's 50-50 now, and Mike Pence would break that tiebreak. That's one thing to go against Trump in that way. But if you're the actual Republican that breaks that tie, then you're in for a world of hurt with the Trump administration. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So that's why they're being so cowardly. But I would guarantee you, that there are many Republicans that don't think this woman is qualified. But that's how politics is played. And Donald Trump is a strong man, and no one wants to go up against a strong man like that. Alright, that's my breaking news for you guys. Keep watching the news. 24 hours, they're gonna do this all night apparently. So, good on the Democrats for fighting, even if there's not much they can really do about this. But we shall see. Mwah. Love you guys. Have a great day.